welcome to Rajya Sabha Television. I am Akhilesh Suman and you are watching Indian Standard Time. Indian Standard Time is a window to the world through the eyes of an eminent international personality. And today we have the honor of having the President of Senate of Republic of Rwanda, Mr. Bernard Makuza. Excellency, welcome.
Thank you for your kind invitation.
And I am admirer of your country, Excellency, because of one thing that you had a sad history for some time. There was inter-community rivalry and there was a violence and almost 1 million people had been killed. But the way you had managed the whole country, but the way your country went into national building, that is really remarkable. You had been also the Prime Minister of your country, and as the President of Senate of Republic of Rwanda, you were elected unopposed. So, Excellency, how easy it is to run the Senate in your country?
I think is a task like other position in my country is a question of team building.
Yeah.
To work together.
Yeah.
Because as you know, in the parliament, in the Senate of Rwanda, is the upper chamber actually of the Parliament of Rwanda.
Right.
So we do have senators, we have committees, and at the leadership level,
yeah,
there is a president of the Senate and 2 vice presidents.
Yes.
So it's a very clear framework.
Right.
We work in.
So, like India, you are also bicameral parliament. One is lower house and other is upper house. So, you are the chief of upper house. When the parliament is in session, when your house is in session, how do you manage your people? Because in democracy, there are so many voices.
Yes, but let me clarify things. There is no one size fit in democracy.
Right.
So, all democracy has to accommodate realities, history, and the culture.
Right.
And what do you want to achieve, really?
Right.
And the question of about the Senate, first of all, you are elected through indirect elections from the provinces and the city of Kigali.
Right.
And some are appointed by the President of the Republic, others are from high learning institutions, universities, and then you are, first of all, you are all senators.
Right.
And for the first session, senators has to elect the bureau.
Right.
It is in that framework I've been elected as president of the Senate by my colleagues. We are 26 senators, and they elected me as the president of that Senate. That is all. It's very clear. That is the process, and it is not a matter of being unopposed or. I think their appreciation was to. For me to lead the Senate.
Right. That is.
I don't like such a way to describe how I'm in this position.
Yeah, but you were also Prime Minister of your country before that. And being a Prime Minister, it was a huge responsibility to go through assimilation process in your country, because when 1 million people are killed, then it becomes a very difficult situation how to take all warring factions in mainstream. So how did your country manage this situation?
First of all, in my country, the Prime Minister is appointed by the President of the Republic.
Yeah.
I have been appointed in 2000, and there was some 6 years after the genocide against the Tutsi.
Yeah.
Something have been achieved since that period.
Yes.
And because since 1994, with more than 1 million
Right.
people,
Yes.
Tutsis,
Yeah.
killed during that period, there was a very sad situation, and everything was like a priority.
Right.
But it was very necessary to start by stabilizing the country, to search for peace, and we went through unity and reconciliation process.
That's why it is very important to know from you that how did you try to take all the factions together, and now how they are contributing in your country.
But as it is a process,
Yeah.
I think is not something which is done by one person.
Right.
Is a result of a policy, a state policy, is a result of actions, is a result of the whole team in the leadership. But I can say the leadership of President Paul Kagame and his vision, even with the Rwandese Patriotic Front, the ruling party, the vision is very clear.
So when 1 million people are killed,
Yeah.
then there are so many people who should be nabbed, who should be tried in the court, and victims will also demand that they should get justice. So how did you fulfill the demand of the victims, and how did you see that it should not be a commotion in the country? Because it's a huge task. It was a huge task for you.
First of all, is a question to understand the root causes of what happened in Rwanda.
Right.
What happened in Rwanda is a result of bad governance since the independence period, based on discrimination and exclusion, which culminated to a genocide against Tutsi.
Yeah.
While really Rwanda exists since 100 centuries, people living together, but with the colonial powers, they introduced the divisions between Rwandans.
Right.
And this happened since 60s, 50s, up to 1994, when even after the independence,
Yes.
the local, I mean the Rwandans leading the country, adopted that approach to divide the population of Rwanda. While we are one, we share the same language, we share the same culture, we live together in the village. You have a wedding between all people in my country. Why people can't be divided?
Who were the two communities who were warring against each
other? Is a question of what happened in 1994 is not a replacement of leaders by others. It is a change. It was a liberation. Rwanda has been liberated from exclusion, from divisionism, to understand how they are together is what we chose. We chose to be one. Chose to be together. And that is the policy we have since 1994. And the results are very clear now, because after recovering the stability, the security of the country, after passing through this reconciliation process, those are really the foundation of a socio-economic transformation we are in now since quite a period.
So how did you go in the court to try those people who were perpetrating the crime, or you tried them at the local level? What was
in that course of unity and reconciliation? We have been inspired by our culture.
It was a local court. It was a local.
We introduced what we called gacaca.
Yeah.
Gacaca, in the past in Rwanda, people sat together and they can discuss about their differences and find a solution.
Yeah.
And we have those traditional courts codified now, or then, since they have been reintroduced to deal with genocide cases.
Right.
They dealt with actually more than 2 million cases. And it was not only justice, but it was about the truth. And somehow to propose discussion between the killers and the victims, and to seek for pardon, to forgive.
Okay.
Yeah, that is very important, because justice in itself, yes, is very necessary, but it can't bring necessarily the unity between two people or a community.
So did it really?
And the gacaca served to unify people, to unify the country,
So it
while
was,
bringing also justice.
yeah, it was much like Gandhian principle here that don't hate the people who perpetrate, but hate with their nature. So it was like that. So it is a really very interesting story about Rwanda. But today Rwanda is one of the fastest growing economy, not only in Africa, but also in the world. So how you are doing this type of miracle?
I think it's not a question of miracle.
Yeah.
It's a question of vision and program, determination from leadership,
Right.
Clear indicators to go through,
Right.
and we have been engaged in a very deep reforms politically, but also in terms of economy.
Okay.
And now we have a very good code of investment,
Right.
which is friendly for investment, either foreign and local.
Right.
You can conduct a business as a Indian, as a foreign generally, and you can own your business in Rwanda, either yourself or
Right.
with
So,
joint venture.
So you are in Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to Rwanda very soon, to your country, and then expectations are there between India and Rwanda, because when there was a India-Africa Forum Summit, India also has shown sensitivity towards the issues of African nations, including Rwanda. So what should we expect from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit this time?
I think a visit on this level all the time is a good thing between two countries.
Right.
The Prime Minister of India to Rwanda, our president has been in India, I think 2 or 3 times, and all the time is a question to strengthen those existing ties.
Right.
And those ties generate a cooperation.
Okay.
And cooperation is translated into some tangible project realized in my country, and even here in India, because if we present some opportunities for investment,
Right.
and if there is some Indian interesting, they can, that is an opportunity, they invest, and then they have the returns because it's a question of benefits.
So in what?
And then in Rwanda also, there is a creation of job.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And let me say, emphasize once again, the relationship between Rwanda and India in terms of trade is historical.
Right.
Because we have since a long period, decades, a very vibrant business community from India operating in private business,
right.
but serving Rwandans and other people in Rwanda. They invest in restaurants, invest in shops.
Yeah.
They are in I think there's some in manufacturing.
Right.
So I think it is something which is already solid, but it will be more.
India generally, India in the main had been working for capacity building in African nations.
Mm-hmm.
So India has done very well in many of the African nations regarding capacity building. What do you expect from India now, other than that?
Of course, India is well known as that capacity is a great economy,
right,
in the world, and is well advanced in the agriculture, is advanced in the health sector, in education, talking about capacity building, in the vocational training, in vocational and technical
right.
Training.
Right.
I think that expertise can come in Rwanda, right, because we need really such a cooperation for our own development, and this is kind of is a kind of cycle, because if, for example, we benefit from the technology from India,
right,
those people trained, they can work even in Indian factory in Kigali or in the other province, and the product can be re-export in India or elsewhere in the world.
Elsewhere, okay.
Yeah.
So what are the exportable raw materials that are existing in Rwanda? Because India also needs many of the raw materials, minerals like that. What are those things? So
we have, as we said, minerals, a range of minerals, gold. For example, we have gold. We have other minerals in Rwanda. So. We have also some sector of investment, as I said, in agriculture,
right,
in hydropower, in mining, for example,
right,
in medical sector,
right,
pharmaceutical services or products. So for example, now 70% of the import of Rwanda, from India, 70% are from pharmaceutical products, but it can be diverse.
Excellency, you are in India and you met Vice President of India, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu. You had also signed some MOUs between India and Rwanda. So what are the things that you are going to cooperate with Parliament of India or the Upper House and the Senate of Rwanda?
So first of all, it's very important to know our cooperation between the Rajya Sabha and the Senate is based by the cooperation and ties existing between our two countries.
Right.
So it's a kind of bringing our contribution to that cooperation, and we are going to exchange expertise, experience within our mandate, You talked about the training
Right.
in research, for example, for our staff.
Right.
And we can go really for the parliamentary diplomacy to support each other.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of countries,
Right.
in terms of our common interests,
Okay.
in international forums,
Right.
and we can organize together some forums to discuss some subjects we can choose.
Okay.
I think it is very important now if we are going to put in place the friendship group.
Okay. Between India and Rwanda.
Between Senate and
Rajya Sabha.
Sabha,
Okay.
to promote, to all the time to think about what can be done
Okay.
in terms of our cooperation.
It will be a group of parliamentarians.
Yeah, a group of senators and a group of
Parliamentarians here.
parliamentarians from the Rajya Sabha here,
Okay.
working on a regular basis on our relations. As now we have a particular framework, we can work on it from this memorandum of understanding we
Right.
signed.
So, Excellency, we are coming at the end of the interview. So, how do you see Indian democracy and Rwandan democracy? Because India is a huge democracy, largest democracy in the world, and Rwanda is growing in democracy. So, how do you think that India and Rwanda can cooperate in strengthening the democratic culture in Africa?
Okay, let me say, maybe it's not a question to disagree or to agree. Actually, is also a democracy.
Right.
You can agree to disagree, or you can agree to agree on something. I don't think there is a big or small democracy.
Okay.
The question, as I said, is the model you have chosen. And there is no one size fit for all.
Right.
Yeah. Every country has to take into consideration the history, the realities, and the purpose, what they want to achieve really.
Right.
And I think in that context, we have to respect what is done in terms of elections or democracy in general in India or elsewhere. But what we want as Rwanda, we want other people, the rest of the world also to respect what our choice is. Because the choice of India can be very different from France, USA, UK, Angola, Rwanda, and so on and so forth. That is our position. Democracy is, there is some universal principles, okay, we agreed on. In democracy, you have three separate powers: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. But the manner how they serve the interests of their population,
Right.
it can differ.
Okay.
And if in India you are satisfied on how you are handling the interest of your people, that is good. We respect that is democracy.
Right.
But other people also have to respect what another country has chosen to serve the interest of their population. Is why I was saying in the beginning, it's not a question of disagreeing or to agree, because that is also to think loudly and to come out and speak from the policy you have or from the heart is also democracy. It's democracy to express yourself.
So,
But I can't never agree some Western countries coming to in our countries like lecturers or to give lessons. You can't import a system, so-called democracy, how it is applied in Greece, how it is applied in Holland, how it is applied in France or Germany. It is right.
Right. That
but
means
it is different from
democracy in Rwanda,
from Africa or in Rwanda.
Right, right. Yeah. So democracy in Rwanda has grown in its own way. Democracy in India has grown in its own way, and both of us have gotten rid from colonial powers in the past. So, but it is really heartening to see that India and Rwanda are developing. Both are developing countries, and both have to get their rightful position in the world. With this note, thank you so much, Excellency, for coming to Rajya Sabha TV and talking with me. That's all. So, in Indian Standard Time, we will come with another dignitaries in Indian Standard Time next week. Thank you so much.